I want to read something. This is from the Bible. Who is the greatest? At the time, the disciples came to Jesus, saying, "Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?" And calling to him a child, he put him in the midst of them and said, "Truly I say to you, unless you turn and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Whoever humbles himself like a child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven." I say this for one reason. For several. So, those people that represent us, the Republicans and the Democrats, and let me just say this, the Democrats, that's a lost cause there. Okay, the Republicans, the ones that, the Lauren Boeberts, the Mike Johnsons, Matt Gaetz, that they're biblically driven and standing up for Mike Johnson. Okay, Jesus was not about bloodshed. And they base this, they base this biblically off of what false priests, pastors, evangelical teachers in this country have told them for years. The Glenn Becks that are so misguided, many, because it's just been passed down. That no, we go and we stand with, we can stand with all innocent countries. And again, God himself said there is no one good. So the very fact that they are still doing this divide, stand with Israel, yes, it is unrighteous. And yet they passed their bill to give Israel yet more money, and they're bringing it on. They're telling you, and this is why Jesus talked about the wolves in sheep's clothing. So the way they're presenting it, the Lauren Boeberts and the Matt Gaetz and the Mike Johnsons of the world, bringing it is that we're going to cut IRS. And they probably will, but believe me, as God is my witness, may he strike me down. They will find a way to tax you or your children later for it. Jesus was about the Holy Land is based on the people. It's the truth, because God said, "This is not my kingdom." No, that's why when we say the Our Father, we say, "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done." So spreading bloodshed anywhere is totally against what Jesus wants. And those people that stand on this biblical ground to do it, to send money to Israel, and I've watched this for decades going, their hands are bloody in that, because that money will be used to defend, right? Because everybody says Israel has a right to defend himself. No, where's the faith? Where's the faith with these people that carry on? And it's fine if you want to be. But if you're somebody that's in a leadership position like Congress, or the House, and you think you're somehow being driven to take our country back to biblical values. First of all, yes, our country's foundation was on Judeo-Christian values. It didn't mean a country becoming strictly under that. And here's why. And I know many Christians might think, well, no, that's what God, because I struggled with this a couple years ago and I really prayed about it. No, that's not what, because God, the true God, is not about forcing you to come to him. Does he want us to spread the message? Does he want us to speak? Of course he does. But he does not. What happens in every country that demands the strict religion of something? They become a tyranny to the people. So that's what separates America, Now, obviously, we should not allow radical religions that sacrifice people and that are going to push sick, demented ideologies. And when I'm saying sick, demented, transgenderism on children, that's the whole transgenderism movement is a religion. It's all also tied to the same religion that supports terrorist organizations. Is Israel a terrorist organization? On the front of it, no, but they have corrupt leaders there like every country does, The problem here is that Jesus was not about bloodshed, but he said countries would face bloodshed if they turn their back on him. I know that we can't force people to believe something, but I would just say again, look to the Bible, okay? The Old Testament, yes, God had his people go in and kill the Canaanites because they were eating baby. It was a different time period. The New Testament closed out the Old. It doesn't mean the Old Testament is not relevant. It just means that we are supposed to operate from the New Testament. And Jesus was about no bloodshed. And Jesus was about don't attach to this world. Because when you attach to this world, you will be taken in by people that call themselves Republicans that say, no, we have to send more money to Israel that will then go on, that money will go on to cause more bloodshed. And here's where it's the worst part of this and how it's so unrighteous, is because how Jesus talks about anybody that corrupts the minds of children is damn. I basically put it, well, people think that just means, pedophilia. No, it also means if you go causing a war in countries, then those children that see that devastation and that trauma, they will grow up hating a certain country. Yes, they will. They will, because of what they've seen. That is also corrupting children. So everything about it all is unrighteous in the eyes of God. And if I'm wrong, God, then strike me down. Are you allowed to defend yourself? Yeah, but I would say here's the problem. Where is the faith? There's no faith. The true God, the biblical God, and I've walked with him for a long time. I don't know how long Lauren Boebert and you may think, how could I judge them? I will, because they are at high leadership positions and they are basing many things because they think that they're standing on a righteous cause. And I say BS. No, you're not. This is how deceived people become. This world was going to tell you what to believe about the Bible, but if you don't read the Bible yourself, and it's hard, I've never read the whole Bible from like front to cover, but much of it, and yet much of it comes with your relationship with God, then you know that when you are a Congress or a House or a Congress that focuses everything upon money, and then you want to deceive the people by saying we're going to cut IRS funding, and that's how we're going to send this money to Israel. That's not what God is about. God is not about. He knows that that's what this world is about. He knows that's the trap this world falls into. But anybody telling you that God would expect us to go, no, God basically said to live in peace, take care of yourselves. It didn't mean being selfish, but it meant that if you have faith, I don't see the Glenn Becks, I don't see the Lauren Boeberts, any of these people that claim the biblical values. Obviously, the Democrats don't have any values whatsoever. Again, they're a lost cause in many cases. But I don't see any of these people just turning it over to God. That's really what Jesus was trying to say, is stop operating on what this world tells you and look to me. Look to me. Do you think I want you to support more bloodshed? No. No, Jesus wanted total dependence on him. But this world has taught so many people, again, because of false priests, pastors, and evangelical teachers, all of them, okay, that because they went to the school of synagogue of Satan, that taught them this is what the Bible means, then they automatically assume, and it all gets passed down, and this is what it all means. No, I don't think any of them know what it means. I mean, for the number one reason, Jesus said this wasn't his kingdom. So he wanted people not to have bloodshed. In fact, people know this verse very well. They love to quote it when it serves them, especially politicians. Matthew 5:9, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Okay, is sending our money to Israel, that's going to create more bloodshed? Because we already give them $3.31 billion. Apparently that's not enough. So where's the money going? So we are supposed to look and depend on God. And that means having to have a fearless faith, a faith that says, I'm going to surrender. I'm not going to go getting into everyone else's war. I'm going to look to Jesus, because the person that truly has faith and truly walks with Jesus, isn't the one that stands on biblical values while focusing everything about money, but is the one that will tell you the honest to God truth.